Thank you all for coming. A reminder, Coach Danielle O'Banion is going at 12:30. Coach Hazell right now is joined by center Phil Huff and nose tackle Dana Brown.
Well, it was a great win for our program. I thought that might have been our best win since we've been here, in the 2 years since we've been here. I just thought we had a great preparation. We adjusted to the venue. You guys were very businesslike. The defense did an unbelievable job of slowing down and stopping the triple option, which is always a formidable task. I thought the offense did a nice job of executing and putting points on the board and putting pressure on their team offensively. And then we continue to get better in special teams. And if we can continue to do what we're doing in special teams, I really like the direction we're headed. We had some great punts and great punt coverage. We did have a big return by Eric Adeyemi when they kicked it away from Dree. But our team has shown a lot of maturity and continues to work to get better each week. So I'm real pleased as to where we are right now.
Dana, how hard was it to prepare for I know you faced him 2 years ago, but how hard is it to face a triple option and a quarterback like Steelman after going through facing a pro set offense, a spread offense, and now you have to do everything almost completely 180 degrees. How did you prepare for Steelman and his bunch?
It all started with our scout team. They did a heck of a job this past week, giving us great looks at working on cut blocks, staying on our feet, and we was preached all week, got out discipline and discipline. So if you fall, get back up. And just it's hard stopping a triple option team, but the way we did, we just all stayed together. If we had to dive, we stayed on the dive. You got the pitch, stay on the pitch. Got the quarterback, handle the quarterback.
What was it like for the players? Coach spent some time at West Point. What was it like to go through those gates and go into a place like Minkey Stadium? I know you played in big arenas, but that has so much history. What was the players' perspective of walking into that facility and onto those grounds at West Point?
It was just amazing. Just the day before Friday when we got there, we toured the campus and just to see all the history that just the Army West Point have and getting to know your country more, just realizing all the people that died for what you have today is life-changing. You really realize what them people go through and the fight they put up with.
Phil, last year the line had a Spencer run for his life a lot last year. Now this year, Dree's getting around 200 yards a game. Trayon's had a lot of touchdowns. Spencer has all the time in the world back there. What's different about this year's line?
I think it's the preparation we give in, and just the looks we get from our scout team are really good. They go hard every play, and throughout practice, we're just grinding, trying to get better.
In Spencer this year?
I see him playing with more confidence and really stepping up as a leader, being more vocal than years past, and he's just really taking on himself to move this team forward.
What's the mindset for the line? Are you guys more confident when you see, Dree Archer getting all these yards, Trayon Durham crossing the goal line? What's the mindset for the offensive line as a whole? Are those stats your stats?
Well, they make some great plays, but I know we kind of hide behind them. We don't really think too much of their yardage. We go out and grind every play.
You hide behind Dree Archer.
Not too well.
Some of the discipline, do you think that you guys were able to utilize for this week? And maybe it's not something that you haven't heard before, but when you hear it as constantly as you do, is that something that, not necessarily for the same scheme, but the idea of the discipline and how much that does help on a play-to-play basis, is that something you can kind of carry forward?
Oh yes, most definitely. Coach Haycock, he put us together in perfect situations to execute what we have to do, and we got a good bunch of players on our side of the ball that's mature enough to handle the situations we're put in.
Coach, you guys are one win away from being bowl eligible. How do you keep your players focused on not worrying about bowl eligibility, but just focused on Western Michigan?
It doesn't change from week to week. the most important thing is preparation. It doesn't matter if it's the 5th game, the 6th game, the 20th game. You know, our task at hand is to make sure that as a coaching staff that we do everything possible, that the players understand and are able to work the game plan. And it's the players' responsibility to make sure they come out and prepare on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, to give themselves a chance. It doesn't matter which game it is.
Have you had a chance to start looking at the Broncos? Alex Carter's been out, he has a finger injury. They've been using Van Tubergen, I think, the last 3 games. Have you had a chance to take a look, either offensively, defensively, at the Broncos?
Oh, absolutely. I've started studying them yesterday morning. Watched all their special teams yesterday, every single player's special teams, and this morning I watched all of their formation cut-ups on defense. I have not watched their offense yet, but I've watched all their defense, and I'll continue to study throughout the course of the day.
You guys all talk about 5-1, 3-0 heading into homecoming. Just the stage is set for just a really special day. Can you just talk about getting to this point and how special it is?
Well, it's definitely been nice, but 5-1 can turn into 5-7 easily. So you just got to keep working every week and try and build it up to get to 13-1.
Yeah, just what Phil said. We ain't trained after the season throughout the winter, spring, and definitely the summer to be 5-1. We trained to be in the bowl game, be in the MAC championship, and we still got our eyes set on that goal. It's 5-1. It's a good start, but we're not finished yet.
Dana, what's it like to finally string 2 good games together as a defense?
It's great. Once we get rolling, it's hard to stop a great defense. We're great defense. Is just sometimes we get out our discipline and people go on do other things. But now that we're coming together, it's a good thing. We're on one track as a team, as a one defense, one offense, everything.
Coach Rosie has sprained his ankle. What's his status? Is he going to be able to go against Western Michigan?
Oh, our defense played 90 plays, which is almost unheard of on Saturday. And obviously when you play 90 plays, you're going to get some bumps and bruises, and especially when you play a team like Army or any of the military academies where the equalizer is them cutting you. So we got cut a lot legally, which was, you know, their job to do. But we're a little sore right now after Saturday's game, so he'll be fine for Saturday. We'll probably be a little bit sore Tuesday and Wednesday, and you'll start feeling somewhat normal on Thursday. But it's 3rd week of October. You expect bumps and bruises at this point in time, and you got to play through them.
Dana, I asked the coach, I'll ask you, have you had a chance to look at Western Michigan's offense yet?
Yes, yesterday as a defensive line, we watched the whole Ball State game, and we've seen some good things that they did in that game. So, yeah.
Do you see a change in their philosophy in their offense with the backup instead of their regular and Carter?
No, it's just like as Carter is in there, they have a lot of formations they run different plays out of. So I don't really think they changed their offense because the quarterback out, because the backup quarterback, he's a pretty good player himself.
Any decision on what you guys are going to do with Tyshawn yet?
Yeah, Tyshawn will be done. He'll be done for the year. We're going to potentially redshirting for this year and get him back next year.
Bill, I asked Dana, I'll ask you about Western. Have you had a chance to look at their defense? And they have a pretty good defense, especially in their linebackers.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple plays so far. I got class after this, and then I'll hit the film.
What is it? Are you surprised that this conference is now is getting very strong? In the last couple of years, it's been heavily into the Western Division, the Toledos, the Western Michigans, the Northern Illinois. It seems like now Kent State, Ohio, it seems like this balance is now coming back within the MAC. These are not easy games.
No, absolutely not. The MAC's pretty even conference. You got to prepare every week. It's going to be a battle every game, so just got to grind again at practice and get out there and show off.
From what you've seen at Western, Coach, can you talk about the special teams that you've seen, the defense that you've seen?
Yeah. You know, they're very sound. I think they try to keep it as simplistic as they can on defense. They play a lot of, again, another team that plays a lot of odd coverage. There's going to be somebody in the middle of the field, whether it's cover 3 or whether it's cover 1. They don't change the front very much. They like to be in the positions they are and try to run to the ball and make plays. Special teams wise, very similar. They for the first 6 games, they've done pretty much the exact same thing in all their schemes. So they want to be sound. They want to use their athletes to run to the football in both special teams and on defense.
Tina, your freshman year homecoming was the Freddie Barnes show at Bowling Green. Then your sophomore year, you won the wagon wheel, and then last year was an ugly Miami homecoming game. Can you just talk about how excited you are for your senior homecoming game?
Man, I'm really excited. Bittersweet, actually. So it's my last one, but it's a big one, and we just treat it like another game, another team on the schedule, another team that's in our way for to reach our accomplishments.
Phil, I know you're a junior. Can you just share your excitement?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Championship teams win at home, and we got to keep winning at home and stay undefeated.
Can you address the Taylor situation? We talked a little bit over here and on the record.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Calvin suffered a knee injury. We're going to have it looked at again this week and find out exactly where it is. He was playing very well prior to the knee injury, and it wasn't on a cut block. It was he was trying to soften on a block and got it caught running off to the sideline when he was engaged and ended up twisting his knee pretty good. So we'll find out here in the next 24, 48 hours where exactly he is. But it was not it's pretty severe knee injury.
One of the things people have asked you how well you guys are doing is one of the things that I've said is because in the past when somebody would go down, it's always tough to try to fill those shoes. And that's one thing that I think that you guys on both sides have all been able to do is check the next guy out kind of situation. So what's the situation that you're filling for Calvin? You can't go.
Well, we'll talk about that at length, about what's the best move for the team defensively. We'll find someone who will step up, and you know that's what it's all about. Especially late in the year, where you're going to get some guys nicked up a little bit. Guys have got to step up and produce and perform at the level they're capable of performing.
Did Wolf play at all?
No, Norm didn't take any snaps, and that was done intentionally. We knew that it was going to be a game where they're going to run the football, and he's going to have to come up and run support, and we didn't think that would be the best thing for Norm. And we're going to need Norm because he's an excellent player down the stretch here, especially against some of the teams we're going to face throwing the football.
Definitely plans to plan.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Dan and Coach, can you just talk about how much Luke Batten stepped up against Darby?
Luke, he's a leader. He's a leader of our defense. He made big plays. He was every time I seemed like I turned around, he was making a tackle. He had I think 16 tackles or so. So he's a leader of our defense. He get us going. He's the backbone to our defense.
He was excellent, I thought. Trying to seal him with the outside guys, and he was scraping over the top, and he was hitting that thing at 3 or 4 yards, and he was as sure of a tackler on Saturday that I've ever seen him be. He was getting the guy down on the ground for no gain after contact, so he's doing a great job.
Can I just get the teammates' reactions when you saw Spencer catch a touchdown? I mean, he's not the fastest guy in the world. You always see him throw. What was your guys' reaction when you just saw him catch a touchdown pass?
I was definitely excited. I think the throw was what made it. Dree can return and catch and run, but also throw, obviously. But it was definitely nice to see a gimmick play score.
It shows how much of an athlete he is. He just caught that pass on the go. So it surprised me. It caught me off guard, but I was happy with the results.
How much had you practiced that? A couple times, dozen times?
Probably 6 to 7 times, not much. 6 or 7 times, not 67. But no, it was neat to see it work. We had set it up 2 or 3 plays prior to that with a tall sweep with the same formation. And whenever you play a team that plays so much man coverage and you have 5 eligibles out, the one guy that they don't account for is the 6th guy, and that's the quarterback. And they probably played 85% of man coverage, and we thought we were going to get it, and we got the look that we wanted, and they did a great job executing across the board. Up front, there was no pressure in Dre's face. He stops and throws a decent pass, and Spencer makes a good catch. Because there was an end that, I don't know if you guys saw that, at the end peeled off, but he was late getting there, and it was a good pass and a good catch.
Coach, you kind of come up with something different every week, something a little off the wall. Is that kind of something, I mean, you enjoy that aspect of coaching?
Off the wall. No, that's fun. You study the film and you try to find out where the weaknesses are of the opposing team, and try to put something together that you hope that we can execute. So that's part of the fun part of the job.
At what point in the season do you try to stop yourself from maybe I don't want to say coaching, but coming up with plays or overdoing it, trying to find something extra, every, be it in the return game? I know you talked about maybe a half dozen different returns you had this year.
Yeah, probably a half dozen.
Schemes.
Right.
And, I mean, at what point is it too much, or is it, are you overcoaching yourself?
No, I think you always have to bring one or two wrinkles in each contest to keep the teams off balance, and especially if you think there's a great advantage to it. If there's something that's just so glaring on film, that I think you have to try to exploit it. I think that's part of the chess game that you do every week.
Does this kicker out of bounds or out of end zone?
He does not. He does not. But what they've shown, without giving too much away, is that they have squibbed it quite a bit this year already.
Coach, you're saying you're like 2 to 3 wrinkles a game. Is that one of the reasons why we see spurts of Fisher even though Spencer's playing well?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
You said you like to throw like 2 or 3 wrinkles to keep the defense on their toes. Is that why we've been seeing Fisher even though Spencer's been playing well?
No, we just think we need to play David. We think he's earned the right to play a little bit, but Spence is playing as well as we need him to play right now. I like where Spence is at right now, but I still like to get Fish in for a series or two. He only got one series the other day, but I still like to get him in for 2 or 3 series if we can. I think that's good for him.
Coach, you've got 4 teams in your league at 5-1 or better. You're included in there. Somebody characterized Kent State as being a part of the upper crust of the MAC. How does that make you and the program feel?
I didn't know all those stats, to be honest with you, and really we were so concerned with that we need to do as a program. We can't. I told the guys yesterday, we got to stay focused, and we can't believe anything the guys are saying on the outside. It's very important for us to just keep going the way we're going in terms of preparation and understanding that it gets harder each week, and we got to do a good job of preparing ourselves.
It beats the alternative, though.
I'm sorry? Yeah, absolutely beats the alternative. Absolutely.